Hello everyone, my name is Sentinel Gray. Alright, listen, I'm like super excited right now. Okay, just because of the name I have for this build. I know the build itself is like maybe a little bit outdated, but still. I'm really excited about this one. Okay, so I have found a build that I like to call a Battle Cleric. It's common in a lot of RPGs, tabletop or otherwise, and like usually they're known for being right in the middle of a fight and keeping their party pretty healthy. And this build isn't any different, so Battle Cleric. Okay, so forgive me about getting excited about the name just because I thought it was cool, and you don't really have that sort of thing in Destiny. There's no really cleric element in the game, you know what I mean. But like I said, the build is kind of outdated, as in it's been in the game for a while and could have easily been picked up on by many other players other than me. But it's the whole matter of the fact of I'm stretching my wings in different classes a bit, so I'm trying to find really fun and cool builds. So the Battle Cleric has two very important and specific things you need for it. The third is going to be dependent on you, the user, on whichever one you want, so I'm going to give you options here. The first thing you need is to be Middle Tree Dawnblade, aka Attunement of Grace, aka Well of Radiance, whatever the hell you want to call it. We all know basically what this tree does for the most part, but I'll run through it pretty quickly for you. Guiding Flame is the name for the melee ability. It burns enemies, empowers you and nearby allies, and that's the gist of it. Not very much. However, paired with Benevolent Dawn, it makes it a bit more useful. Benevolent Dawn regenerates melee, grenade, and rift energy whenever you heal or empower allies. This counts with your rift class ability too, so don't forget that. Don't count on the melee ability to trigger this very often, instead focus more on the grenade. The grenade ability, Divine Blessing, converts your grenade into a blessing that heals ally targets and drops overshields for you and your allies to pick up. And if you activate this ability while gliding, you can hover in midair for a bit to pick and choose where you want to put your blessing. Well of Radiance is something everyone knows, but like I said, I'll go over it very quickly. The well, when placed, aggressively heals you and nearby allies that are inside of its area of effect, as well as giving a 25% damage buff for all damage that you deal. See? Real quick. Okay, now for the stuff that makes a real difference. The next thing you'll need is the exotic Gauntlets Sun Bracers. Listen, whether you think these things are high tier, low tier, or somewhere in between, these babies are going to be important for what you're going to do. Their exotic perk, Helium Spirals, increases the duration for solar grenades and grants unlimited grenade energy for a brief time after a solar melee ability kill. This unlimited grenade energy can also be converted into Divine Blessings, allowing you to send out healing over a wide area. As an alternative, you can proc Sun Bracers and use the grenades you get during Helium Spirals to either heal or deal damage. On top of that, if you slap a Momentum Transfer or Enhanced Momentum Transfer mod onto your Sun Bracers, grenade damage you deal converts into melee energy, which just makes the Helium Spiral ability more available, which in turn leads to more grenades or healing or whatever you choose for the specific situation. Finally, we have your two options, the two exotic weapons for this build. The first time I tested this build, I used it with the Traveler's Chosen to be a really solid CQC Battle Cleric. There's that word again, those words, Battle Cleric. With the two perks that Traveler's has on it, it proves to be a really good weapon for whenever you're up in enemies' faces, or if you just need abilities back fast. The perk Gathering Light has two functions. Final blows with this weapon grant stacks of Gathering Light, and whenever you hold down the reload button, you consume all stacks of Gathering Light, giving you 10% energy to all of your abilities per stack of light. The second perk, Gift of the Traveler, increases the weapon's reload, handling, and target acquisition for each stack of light. Now be mindful, this does not mean with each stack that you consume, but with each stack that is currently on the weapon. So at its core, the weapon is already pretty good for anything you want to do at close range, and with the Gathering Light ability, you can get your melee ability back faster so that you can activate Helium Spirals more often. It all kind of feeds into each other. But again, that was my first option. My second, and arguably the more useful option, is the Hand Cannon Lumina. And like I said, I know this weapon has been out for a while, and I know some players already discovered what I just recently did, but don't get on me about it. I've only been experimenting with builds until recently, so cut me some slack. I know most of you know already, but here's a quick overview of Lumina. Kills with the weapon leave behind remnants that you can absorb, turning your hipfire shots into noble rounds, and filling your magazine up all the way. Noble rounds, when fired, seek out nearby allies, heals them, and give both you and the ally hit a damage buff for a short time. The thing that they don't tell you is that whenever you hit an ally with a noble round, it activates Benevolent Dawn in Attunement of Grace. The reason this happens is because technically you're healing and empowering you and your teammates with the noble rounds, which in turn kick Benevolent Dawn into play. So if we follow that a bit more, that means that the regen for all your abilities increase, allowing you the chance to set off helium spirals, which also in turn give you more solar grenades and blessings to deal out. But no matter which weapon you use in the build, it's a lot of fun and super effective in healing. So much so that if you're guiding a new player through Destiny and the game gets a little ahead of them in the power level department, you can act as a support role and keep them healthy through an entire activity. I did this recently with one of my friends who played for the first time since like Season of the Worthy. We were going and doing public events on Titan and Io with him still being power level 1000, and I was keeping him alive through the vast majority of the event with no problem at all. Please just give this build a shot. I promise it won't only be useful, but it'll also prove to be tons of fun. That is it for me for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And I have a few more builds in my head, so I'll be getting into those here soon. If you want to see more live content, I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Twitch. I'll have the link for that in the description box below. Thank you all once again so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Remember, keep your heads up, be kind to each other. Bye now.